Okay, so I'll give them a mic. Then you just introduce your name and your so-called stage. So like, what do you take? Do you take IB? Have you graduated IB already? Yeah, that kind of thing.
Hi guys, I'm Emily. I graduated from ACS Independent. I did IB. Hi guys, I'm Caitlin. I graduated from Eunoia JC and I did A levels.
Hi everyone, so my name is Sahana and I'm currently studying in Catholic Junior College. So in 2025, I'm be doing JC2.
Hi everybody, my name is Fabella. I'm studied in NJC, so National Junior College, and I took A levels.
Hi everyone, my name is Jovita, and right now I'm a year 1 student studying in the Polytechnic.
Now let's send your questions here, and then they will try and rapid fire answer as much. So we have a nice spread now. We have Poly, we have JC, we have JC1. Sana just finished JC1. We have people who just finished JC2. We have people who just finished IB in JC. IB is not the same as A levels. Okay, now it's here already.
CJC, okay, who's on CJC?
Okay, so I am from the science stream, so I'll speak for the science stream only. How are the teachers and the notes like any other school? I cannot slander my school here, I'm sorry. But yeah, they are good. Okay, next question.
I see your question which says, for Poly, how would you advise to take up a CCA? I think it would be highly recommended if you are interested in building up your portfolio or things like that, or you're looking into like doing a leadership role in certain CCAs. Yep. So it's also not compulsory to join. So highly encouraged.
There's a question saying how is NJC? Oh wait, I'm not from NYJC, I'm from NJC by the way, but so I'll answer the question. So NJ is pretty diverse, I would say. You can find a lot of different types of students there. There's like your really, really talented like dancers, you're really, really smart people. So there's a place for you, definitely. Like you don't have to feel like you're the odd one out there, because you will definitely find your place. And NJ, you don't really feel the IP and JE segregation, so that's one of the better things about NJ. But I guess like one of the downsides, and you guys will probably read it on Reddit, is that we have like older facilities, but we are going through revamps right now. So if you go to our open house on the 11th Jan, you can see that our buildings are newly painted and everything. So you can just go and check it out.
She really loves her school.
Actually, to add on, right? Okay, CJ, right? There are good teachers and bad teachers like in every other school, so you don't have to worry too much about it. But our house system is damn strong, so you're gonna do everything in the house. So I think you'll be okay lah. There's a lot of different types of things for you to do at CJ, so you don't really have to worry. There are nerds, there are athletes, there's everyone there, like any other school, so you'll be fine. Yeah, our open house is 11 Jan. Please come find me. I'll be on duty, guys. I'm in first aid. Please come find me.
Okay, I saw a question on about EJ. I'm not sure how many of you all know, but EJ is an IP school. So it means that there's IP people from Synix, from Cat High, as well as SEGS. I think like what Fabella said, right? There could be a bit of IP and JE segregation, but I feel like it has not been that bad in the recent years. And in terms of whether it's easy or not to make friends, I would say if you're outgoing and if you're willing to take the first step forward, then it's actually not that bad. And I think in every JC, it's super important to find a group of friends that you can really rely on, because they're going to really be your rock and pillar for the next 2 years. Because JC is really not an easy journey, it will really require a lot of perseverance lah. Yeah, and in terms of culture in EJ, we are known as like the Rara school, so there's a lot of activities. And in terms of orientation, right, it's usually very, very fun. And yeah, the culture is actually really good. And the teachers, and I just feel like our school has a really good support system, especially our principal. He's like literally out there and he will perform for the students and will give a lot of encouragement for y'all. Yeah, so please consider EJ. Our open house is also on the 11th of Jan. Thank you.
I am sponsored.
IB very stressful. I think that like okay, so for IB, each subject you have something called an internal assessment. So it's like 20 to 30% of your grade depending on on the subject. Then it's like you do that during your 2 years of studying, and then the rest of like the 70 to 80% is like your final exams. So you have to be consistent in your work, but like IB students are known to be procrastinators. So up to you lah. And there's like other things that you have to do within IB that's not in A-level syllabus. like we have something called theory of knowledge. So just now I know that Mr. Keith mentioned about like seeking evidence and stuff like that. That's basically the whole premise of TOK, and it's very like philosophy based, but it's just one component of your grade lah. Yeah, so I think that IB and A level differ slightly in like the holisticness of your education, and I think like if you have the opportunity to go and do IB, it's like better than A levels.
Oh, I have something to say about IB. I heard it's paid to win because, like, you know, there's projects, right? And then you can get tuition to help you with the projects, or people to help you with projects, and then you can like increase your grade. So that's what I heard. Okay, so like, yeah, if you want something where I guess it's not all counts on the last exam, you only was spread out, then IB is better.
Okay, wait, can I say So, okay, so right, in AC, there's this subject called business management that A level does not provide. So it's like econs, but econs is like very like market based. You learn everything based on the market, but BM is more like business based. So I take BM at SL, which is the equivalent of H1, and the project I did was on a brand that I really really love. And then I was quite interested in it. And so if you're interested in something, you can delve more into the subject and like learn more based on first-hand experience rather than just learning from the textbook. And I really feel that it's a very good opportunity to find out if you actually like the subject lah. And then for science, all your projects is like very lab report kind of thing. So you get to experience writing essays and stuff that your A level counterparts do not have the opportunity to lah.
Okay, so like for the main question, right? Is it very stressful in JC? And like, okay, how much more than secondary school? So as someone who's halfway through the mark, and I still remember how O levels was, it would be very stressful if you are a procrastinator like me, okay? But if you're a consistent worker who puts in at least 2 hours or 1 hour of revision every day, you'll be fine. So, based on how you like to study, your fate is in your own hands. But it is more stressful than secondary school. Why? Because you're studying way more, like almost like 200% more than what you did in O levels. The depth is there and the width is also there. So the amount of knowledge that you're going to gain in 2 years is going to be insane. So your brain will explode. But like, there are a lot of people who've done it before. So if you trust yourself, you can also do it. Yeah.
Just now I saw one question that asked what diploma I'm studying. So right now I'm studying landscape design and horticulture. And in essence, the diploma is about studying plant science. Also, at the same time, you are studying how to design with plants. Yeah. So I get to design like spaces or green spaces. Yeah.
Maybe I can answer something for the CCA suggestion for JC. Okay, so CCA suggestion is if you're taking A levels, right? Like everything just depends on how high you can score for A levels. So that will unlock a lot of possible uni courses. So the whole goal of JC, in my opinion, is just get 90 out of 90 rank points, means all A in your subjects. So it means don't care about CCA. So I did is I took Taekwondo, which sounds very legit, but it's only 1 hour a week. Okay, and then you can like don't even go and they won't because the external CCA. So like basically I found a loophole that allows me to spend very little time in CCA. So that's my advice.
Actually, that's how I did also. So, right, my CCA is first aid club. So what we do is at the start of the year we get like compulsory first aid training. But then after that you're occasionally down for duty for like important events like open house and things like that. So to wrap it up, it's actually a slacker CCA. You can slack as much as you want, no one's gonna say anything. It's 2 hours a week, so it's okay. And like it's in the afternoon. So like if you're sneakily doing homework also, right? And you're close with the ex-co, you can get away with it. It's fine. So like yeah, you can do that. Or if you're really like crazy and like you love sports, right? Just do it lah. Do whatever you want lah. Doesn't matter. It's just 2 years. Just do whatever you want. Yeah, actually, you get a CCA cert lah, just like secondary school. And like based on if you go to, you know, national school games or like whatever external things you do, it will be in your portfolio. And like if you are going for very competitive courses like medicine, because at the start that was what I was thinking of. If I want to go medicine, then like my involvement in my CCA will be useful. So like if you think that way, is also then you must go for CCA properly, like you cannot slack like me. Like I don't slack, okay, sorry, no, I don't slack, but like I'm just saying, but if you're passionate about the CCA and you're willing to spend time, do it. If you don't want to, then just pick a slacker CCA and then study. Yeah, that's about it.
How is econs like in JC, anyone?
Okay, yeah, so I would like to answer that.
Okay, so I personally I take H1 econs, I don't take H2, and I already find H1 pretty challenging. I don't know why. There are like two types of people. Firstly, are the people who take H2 and they say it's common sense, and then the people who take H1 and they're like dying, which is me. And I found H1 pretty challenging, like econs in general, because there are a lot of like different concepts they need to grasp, and it feels like you need to be in the shoes of a businessman. So it's like maybe I just don't have that in me. So I generally just didn't do well for econs. But that's okay because I took it as H1 and I focused on my other H2 subjects. So I think it's easier to get an A in H1 econs than H2 econs. Because in H2 econs, you still have to write essays, but H1 econs, you completely don't have to. It's just like really, really long at like basically your social studies in secondary school. Yeah.
Well, econs, I saw one question about tuition, right? Yeah, it's called ThatBioTutor. That's my recommendation. Very similar to our Jake. I stole the name from him. It's called ThatBioTutor. It was
Actually,
my-
I was his student lah, up till August, I think. So like, if you all need his number, come find me.
I'll answer for the H2 econs part. So for me, I'm the opposite of Fabella. I felt that econs was my best subject, even though I took H2. So for context, right, for H2 econs, we have case study questions, same as H1, but the case studies also include essays, and we also have a separate paper which is just purely essay questions. And we have to choose 3 out of 6 essays. So for me, right, I felt like econs was common sense. Yeah, there's really two branches of people. It's either you understand econs or you don't get it for some reason. Yeah. But I think for me, right, I understood econs. It was because I took it from the perspective of like, it's not really like businessman, but I guess sometimes it comes to me more naturally. So for example, we have this topic on market failure where they give you different reasons on how the market fails. So it's really like social studies where they'll give you like a template and then you just have to sometimes regurgitate and edit the template. And then we have like different topics as well to study. So usually for my school, right, they recommend people to take H2 first. But if you cannot cope with H2, then you drop to H1. Because H1 may not necessarily be easier for some people because it depends on whether you have a flair for writing essays or not. Oh, how's bio in JC? Bio in JC is very different from O levels. So I also took bio with Keith. And I felt like bio was quite easy for me in secondary school because all the things that you all learn, right? Like, for example, the digestive system, like your eyes, the cornea, the lens, or whatever. Yeah, those are things that you can visualize in your head. And then you also learn things like the DNA thing, right? Yeah. So basically in JC, right, it's those things, but 10,000 times more in depth. So for example, your DNA part, right? You can go into depth of like what are the components of DNA. For example, DNA binding proteins. Then you have like a lot of different enzymes that make up those specific DNA components or proteins. So bio in JC is basically a super more in-depth version of O levels. And then you also have to write like essays, 20 mark or 25 mark essays. Yeah. And it's just basically a lot more rigorous.
Maybe I say something about that also. So for here, right, you like the molecular genetics topic. Like, it's interesting to you, right? And if you like it. Okay, so for these people, right, you'll probably enjoy the JC bio. Okay, because it is a lot about the cellular, molecular level. So it's like in between bio and chem. It's quite cool. There's very little about the human and plants. There's no plants, I believe. And then the essays, right? Okay, so although it sounds very scary, there's like 20 marks essay. Actually, it's very much 3 marks because you just spam all the points and then you can get full marks, right? Or near full marks. Yeah. So essays is a farm, it's a marks farm. Okay, maybe I'll answer the next one. So, H3 subject do you recommend to take? Okay, so imagine this: you take, compare me. I did take H3. I did take H3, and I got 90 even I got all A's. Compare if I alternate reality. Let's say I did H3, right? Then I have to spend more time to study it. Then I cannot spend enough time to get A's in my other subject. Let's say one of the A's I lost became a B. Now my rank point is less. So who has more options now to enter into uni courses? Me or the one who take H3 but have lower rank points? Then the answer is obvious. So I believe right, this point take H3 should only be if you are very, very sure that like you don't need perfect rank points and that subject is so important to get into uni. You want to like go all in. Or you're so good, right? JC is a joke to you. And like, I need harder. Okay? I want to add extra challenge. Yeah, some of my classmates were like that. They were this good. So yeah, that's who the H3 is for.
Okay, so I saw a question about whether bio or physics. So as someone who took pure sciences at O levels, all three, first, right, you should look at your marks. Okay, when it comes out, the grade is important. So you look at whether your bio is higher or physics higher. That's the first thing. Second thing, which of the ones do you like more? So some of my friends, they were like, I don't know which I like more. So then I'm like, okay, then you pick the one that you can score better in. Okay, that's what I would say. And like what she mentioned just now, O level bio and A level bio is very different. So if you come in with the idea that you can score well like O level bio because it's similar, then you're wrong. So I would advise you to look up the syllabus document, because for A levels it's accurate, because like the teachers make your notes based on the syllabus document itself. So whatever is in there is going to come out for your exam. Look through it, read through it, see if you want to learn these things in the next 2 years. If yes, then pick the one. So like for example, if you look through the bio document and you're like, okay, I'm keen to learn these things, then you should pick that. But then if you look at your physics document and you're like, okay, no, I like this more, then you pick the physics one. Okay, so I really advise you to do your own research. Look through the syllabus document, very, very important. Look through it, read through it, see which one you like more, and then you pick. For those people who like don't know which one to do. For those people who like know which one you like more and you're willing to work hard for it even though it's your lower one, like you didn't score as well, then just pick the one you like lah. And very important, right, JC, please pick the subjects you like. Okay, don't do things because other people are telling you to do it. You regret it because you won't like your life. Okay, you're going to be spending a lot of time on those subjects. So like, please don't take subjects you don't like or not keen in. You're just going to be wasting the time. Yeah, that you could have learned something else. Yeah.
On physics or bio, right? Okay, so for IB, there's like grade boundaries, so it differs per subject. Then for physics, it's a lot lower. It's like 68 or 69 this year. Then like it's really quite easy to get a 7. A 7 is the equivalent of an A. Then bio is like 80 something. So like to each their own. What do you think you can get better? Yeah.
It's for the first question, right? My sister, she was like that. She find it quite hard to cope O levels already. So she went to poly instead of JC. Even though my parents are like those like stereotype, they're like, oh, if you go JC, then it's good. If you go poly, it's not good. No, but that's not true. And she went to poly, and she's like basically everything is just full marks for every morning because she's actually good at what she does, which is art. So she already does it in her free time. She likes it, and so when you find the right match for your poly course, it's very easy. So I would recommend, if you're like my sister, and O levels already very hard, A levels is on steroids. So if you are already strong in O levels, then just go poly. They don't care about what my parents say about, oh, what is Albert.
As about NYJC, I know of a few people who are in NY. What they say is, I think you all know that NY has this mugging culture. Yeah, it's quite true. But I think if you should go and experience the open house yourself, because all the things that I hear about NY is that it's just quite stressful in that school because everyone in that school is very competitive. They are all they just want the best grades. So everyone is very competitive. That's all I heard.
Oh, can I raise your hand if you went for the Bio JC, the Bio A-level crash course free one that I sent to the group? Okay, so there were many questions about how is Bio like. Okay, and do you like it? Can you take it? So I'm going to ask the guy again, can he send another crash course? Can he hold one? Or can he send the recording and I'll send to the group again? Because that's a very good litmus test to see if you're suitable for JC Bio.
For the top question, is H1 econs similar to econs O levels? Firstly, I did not know econs. I mean, like, there's an O level subject for econs. Oh, there is?
Actually, okay, so my friend took econs at O levels and she did H1 econs with me. So actually, if you know like your demand structure, supply determinants, whatnot, right, you're in good hands lah, because that's the first few things that you'll be going through. If you're good at market failure, you'll be fine, because all those things I believe are taught in econs O level. Who asked this question? Who's taking econs at O levels? Please raise your hand. So you know, right? So you know all these things, right? Yeah, so then like, yeah, you should be fine. So it's quite similar. So you actually get a head start. So I recommend you take H1 econs. But if you want, you can also take H2 lah. Oh, also, by the way, right, the NYJC thing is actually serious. Like, I have a few friends there, and like, apparently they're mugging like 24/7. You know. So apparently they have this like 2 huge walkways full of benches. All the benches are filled all the time. It's crazy. Then my friend was like, she got all A's for O levels lah. So she's already that crazy lah. And then she went to NY and then she told me, you know, the people here are driving me crazy because they're studying all the time. She did say that it gets quite toxic at one point. So like just be aware lah. If you're a mugger, like natural born mugger, then that's the perfect place for you actually. You'll thrive there.
Just now I saw a question which says, what can I look forward to in poly? I think personally is freedom, more personal freedom and like freedom to control my own time. Yeah, so right now my lectures are only like 3 hours long or at the least 2 hours long in one day. Yeah, so it's much shorter than your normal secondary school lessons. And because of the short amount of time of that is being put into lectures, I think I have more time to build my own knowledge and also time for myself also. So if you like that freedom of time, yeah, you should definitely choose poly.
There's this question of like, for if NJC, if you go to NJC, is it easier to enter NUS? I would say that depends, because we have a very strong alumni community. That is true, because everybody is connected through like our emails, and we have like this NJ community after you graduate. So I'll be in there soon after I get my results. But I think it really depends on your own results and your own portfolio. I think my school has a lot of leadership opportunities, overseas opportunities, and you don't need to have like a leadership like position in NJ for you to go overseas. As long as you are recognized by your teachers, you have like good character and all that, I think you stand a chance to go. You have all these opportunities as well. Like I said, right, there's always a spot for you in NJ, so you don't have to worry too much about it. And also, I think CCA is quite important. Like, I'm opposite of her. I think actually, if you feel that you're really passionate in a certain sport or in a certain CCA, you should really dedicate your time and like your effort into your CCA, because CCA is also where you make friends and you like get to bond with the people outside of your class and people you don't normally talk to. So I think it can be stress like relieving. So you might want to take CCA pretty seriously, because it actually builds portfolio as well. And you never know, your CCA might have overseas opportunities as well. So you really have to take note of that. Whether it's easier to enter NUS, you really have to build your own portfolio for that.
Actually, just to add on, right, another very underrated thing about choosing your school, right? Please consider the distance from your house to the school. Please, it's really a logistic thing. And like, if you pick a school that's 2 hours away from your house, you smack yourself when you're going back home on a Thursday, and the next day you have to go back to school at 7:30. You literally die. Okay, like please pick a school that's close to your house. Like, it's logistically wise. And like, if you can go home like even 15 minutes earlier, right, than the rest of your friends, right, you will thank yourself. Trust me. Like, really, pick a school that's close to your house. Please don't be ridiculous and pick somewhere that's like 2.5 hours away from your house. How are you gonna go back? Okay, please, 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 really, 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 please pick somewhere that's close to your house.
I think I saw a question on, are there any, is results just everything in JC? Yes and no. Well, at the end of the day, going to JC, right, you all are taking your A levels, but besides the point, right, it's also very important to build your portfolio in JC. So, for example, right, in your schools, your future JCs that you are going to, sometimes there may be opportunities that the schools may release, and whatever opportunity that comes your way, right, when you are interested, you should really grab those opportunities, because it's super, super important to build a portfolio. And it's also about to drive you crazy when you are in JC, because sometimes it can get really hectic. So those are really the places where you can de-stress or like just do something out of your school time. What course did I take in EJ? I took BCME, Biochem, Math, Econs. I took 4 H2s, yeah.
Okay, I have something that's advice for the students interested in medicine who might want to go to medical school in uni. Okay, so if you're interested right now, you have an opportunity. You can go sign up for internships, work attachments, whatever. Just go say, yeah, I'll work in the clinic for free, I'll just be your slave. Just work so that, right, you can put in your portfolio. Because see, for me, when I had 90 rank points, I can go to any course I want, except I cannot go to physics in NC like engineering, because I didn't take physics. Okay, I cannot go there. I could also try for medicine. I might not get accepted because medicine is very competitive, right? So not just you have to get very high score, basically perfect score. You taking bio also is an advantage, but having the work attachment is further advantage because you can go to the interview, right? You can see, when I came out of my mother's womb, all I wanted to be was a doctor. You can see, right? That's proof. I went to work attachments because I love it so much. Like, I went to help for free. I went to volunteer in this. So you'll stand a much bigger chance. Okay, so that's what I heard. And so now you have 2 years away plus from that, right? So now is the time to start doing that, especially now you're free. So what attachment, all those kind of things, builds out your portfolio, okay?
For the question on do you recommend to take 2 CCAs, sports council and history subjects? So I'm actually in a sports CCA and I'm in student council and NJC as well. For sports CCAs in my school, it's usually about 2 to 3 times a week. During competition period, so NSG, you can expect to have up to 4 times a week. So, and the CCA timings are like after school, so maybe like 5 to 7, that kind. So, and then on top of student council, which is actually pretty hectic, especially during your event seasons. So if you want to take both on top of a history subject, I think you really need to consider the time that you have and whether you are good at the history subject that you are taking. Because I have a friend and he's in history camp, and then he got the opportunity to go NUS to for like a chemistry Olympiad. So history can actually open up many different opportunities for you, but you really need to see whether you have the time, passion, and like dedication for the subject and for the things that you're taking above it. Yeah, so time management is definitely something that you want to consider when you are taking all these different things onto your plate.
Okay, I see the topmost question. If I'm struggling in O levels but I have no interest in any course, do I still go to JC or go for poly? A poly course I have no interest in. There must be something you are interested in, but you can think something along the lines where like what field excites you, like IT or science or the art stream. Yeah, or you can think about what really interests you if you really can not cope with secondary school life. Sorry, I speak for a poly student. I'm not really sure about JC. Yeah, so you can try the common diploma course if you choose to apply to poly, which gives you a taster about how different courses work and what they study. Common diploma programs can help if you currently struggle with secondary school content, because from what I heard, I think if you are currently struggling with secondary school content, I think it will be difficult to cope in JC. Yeah.
Okay, hey guys, so for the interest of time, right, we only have a few minutes left for this section. So I'm going to speed around, answer the questions, and then those which I cannot answer, I'll let them answer, okay? So is there a very big difference in H1 and H2 science? Generally, yes. And it's also easier to score. Just think of like pure and combined bio, right? Pure or combined things. It's easier to score for the easier one, right? Okay, next. How is H2 chem if I'm struggling in secondary? Am I still going to survive JC? Answer is no. Because I was scoring full marks, not full marks, on the highest grade in my chem. Chem was my best subject in secondary. And secondary, it was not just the normal O level, it was harder because from Raffles program is higher level. I was getting the highest grade. Then when I went to JC, I died. Okay, so for context, I was already good in chem and then I died in JC. So, no. Okay, that's the simple answer. Okay, this one, why JC, I'll let you answer later. How easy are they your answers that? Do you recommend to take 2 CCA, sport and student council and history? No. You will just sacrifice your RP, which is your A-level rank points. And yeah, so you have a very nice portfolio. The RP is the most important factor. Okay, if you don't have that, then cannot. You're already hurting your chances. Okay, history, econs, okay, later I'll let you answer. Some good tuition centers are. So that econs tutor, but I think he only accepts J2s. Then I think for the rest, you can ask me for recommendation if you want. I'll just take this.
This question, just whoever else, just come find me. I'll wait for you.
H2 biography history really depends on your strengths. That's what I would say. Requirement in IB. Okay, that one Emily answer. Emily, how I answered, sorry.
What do you mean by good uni? So like overseas uni, right? Like Australia and some UK universities quite lax. You can get like 35 or like 36. Okay, it's out of 45 by the way. NUS, NTU, Med, you don't need to get 45. You can get 42, 43 and still be accepted. Dentistry in Singapore also 42 and above. So you don't need the equivalent of 90 rank points. Yeah, and the requirements for IB is a lot more lax overseas because most people who do IB tend to go overseas, or if you stay local, it's either Med, Law, Dent. Yeah. How is the culture like in AC? how to say, you have a lot of fun, then you get to experience a lot of things and meet a lot of new people. You really see upper society, mini upper society, and you widen your horizon. Yeah. I think coming to AC was a really good decision on my part because I felt like I grew as a person. Especially, okay, so I'm in house and I grew a lot from that. I'm also in a sports CCA and a club. So like 3 CCAs. Yeah, and then how to say, it's like I met a lot of people and I made a lot of new friends. So I think it's a really good opportunity and your portfolio will be built lah. It's easier in IB compared to A levels, cause even volunteering, that is part of our requirement to graduate.